So hi everyone, I'm here with Joe Hubbard from ProgDog. ProgDog is a training company. Joe is based in Sileby, so just down the road from us. So Joe, tell us about
Hello.
ProgDog. How did the idea of ProgDog start?
It started a long time ago now. I was, would you believe, a probation officer before, and I did that for a really long time.
That makes
But
me laugh so much.
it makes you laugh.
I just can't picture you doing it.
No, it didn't make me laugh at the time, I'll tell you that. But yeah, and probably my whole career when I was in probation, I wanted to do something with dogs. And I just didn't really know what to do, or I didn't have the guts really to take that leap. But then, 12 years into being a probation officer, I decided enough was enough. And so I started studying actually canine behaviour, and started studying how to do behaviour work with dogs and how to train dogs and that kind of thing.
Did you have a dog at the time?
At that time, yeah, we had dogs. Yeah, we had two,
No.
Sam and Lenny.
Did you? Hey.
Huh?
What dogs were they?
What dogs are they? Well, they were rescue dogs. We never really knew what was in them. They were older actually when we rescued them. We think Lenny was a Brittany. We think Sam was some kind of pointer cross, but we don't know. Never did know. I wish I'd done a DNA test actually, but I never really thought about it at the time. They were beautiful, absolutely beautiful dogs. So we started studying and kind of working out how to train dogs properly. I didn't have a clue, to be honest, to start with. And then started volunteering at the Dogs Trust, just basically cleaning kennels, which I love. I loved cleaning kennels. Like there was something so lovely about making a kennel all nice for a dog.
Like a sense of achievement.
Yeah, really. And then I just got hooked, absolutely hooked on dog training, and kind of that was that. So I went and just continued studying, did loads and loads of courses, then got a job training dogs to have vet procedures, and then went on to work for an assistance dog charity, and then started my own dog training business. And here we are.
And how long have you been running as ProgDog now?
ProgDog's been running since about 2016.
Yeah, or as my dad calls it when he drives past your van, ProgDog. That ProgDog girl's in the village. I know, Dad, she lives there.
No, funnily enough, I had a conversation about this with someone the other day, and I said, part of me wishes I'd named it something different, because nobody can pronounce it. But it stands for Progressive Dog Company. That's what it stands for. And it's all about progress from the dog side, from the client side, kind of all round, from the business side, continually trying to sort of progress. So that was the idea behind it, and just liked it being short and sweet. I like it. It's got a ring to it.
It does. I like it. So what is your speciality as a dog trainer then?
I specialise in puppies. Who wouldn't want to specialise in puppies? I also specialise in recall training. I absolutely love training recall stuff.
I know. We need to book some more sessions with Prim. We had the best fun, didn't we, playing on the swings, getting Prim to not chase.
We really did. Yeah, recall is just it's so important. So important, and I just love it because it's that it's the dog owning dream, isn't it? You know, to wander through the fields on a summer evening, you know, with your dog off, running through the long grass, you know, that's the dream. You don't generally get a dog and kind of go, oh, I really hope I've got to keep this on lead for the rest of its life.
Like Paddy.
It's just, it makes such a difference to lives, and I think that's why I love it so much, because you see that.
It gives you so much freedom as an owner, doesn't it?
Freedom, confidence, dog's safe, the dog has more freedom, you know, which is a nice thing to be able to do for a dog. It's just, I love it. It's great.
So when we came across you, Came across you. That sounds like, oh. But Ian, your partner, you had Peggy, didn't you?
Yes.
And she was a Doberman, wasn't she? She was a rescue.
She was. We were fostering Peggy, the big fat Doberman, who was about 53 kilograms.
She was enormous, wasn't she? But you did so much hard work with her.
She was an absolute giant. She was used for breeding, and she could barely walk. She was basically a barrel on some tiny legs.
Bless.
And we fostered her and brought her weight right down to, I think it was 24 kilograms or something in the end. And she looked really good, bless her.
And she's off now in a new home.
She went to her new home. Yeah, she sadly passed away.
No, she hasn't.
Yeah, she did. She got wobblers.
Oh, did she?
Yeah, really, really, really sad. And that was recently, actually. So she's buried at her stables, because her owner had a stables and it was her favourite place. So she's buried there. But she had the best life, after rescue.
I was going to say, like, her life turned around completely, didn't it?
Yeah, she lost all of that weight. She could suddenly enjoy life. She went and lived basically on a farm. Absolutely loved it. What more can you ask for, really?
Yeah, so pretty perfect.
Yeah, really sad, but she was awesome. She loved trick training as well. She used to do some tricks in the salon.
She did, for a pause. Oh, so cute, just the cutest.
I need to find the pictures of those, actually.
I've got them. I'll send them over to you. I've got pictures of her in the salon. So you've got a bit of a soft spot for rescues, haven't you? Then, because now you've got Mags.
I do. It's not. I don't know. It's never been a massively conscious choice. I'd totally, buy a puppy. Really, I've never been able to decide what breed I want when I think about, actually what dog should I get. It tends to just be I see a picture of a dog and I go, okay, that's my dog. So if I had to sit and choose a breed, I'd be here forever, just going, well, I like that, and then I like that.
And don't you find that's the hard thing? Like when you see so many puppies and you just want to squish them all, and you think, I don't know what my next dog would be.
Every single one. I say to most of my clients, if you ever decide you don't want your dog anymore, funnily enough, they keep the dogs.
That's because you put all the hard work in with the training.
Yeah. Well, I hope so. I hope it's because of that.
What sort of thing do you, because you do pre-puppy packages as well, don't you? So you go right from before a puppy would arrive.
Yeah, so we do pre-puppy stuff, so we can set the home up, get it ready for when puppy comes home. We can get existing animals ready, kids ready. We can get you sorted with how you're going to toilet train your dog, how you're going to deal with all kind of problem behaviours. All of that stuff can be done before puppy's even got home. So that really on the day that puppy does come home, the only thing you've got to think about is puppy, because you're sorted with, okay, I know what I'm doing with toilet training, I know where puppy's going to sleep, I know how I'm going to set my house up to prevent any problems with it. So yeah, pre-puppy sessions are super helpful. People find them really, really helpful to get all of that stuff out the way before you've got this crazy manic little thing that comes in your house and tears your life upside down.
It's crazy, isn't it? Sorry about my dogs. Someone is just walking past my house again.
They're guard dogs, Anna.
I know. This is self-isolation for you. Everyone's supposed to be in and everyone's out walking past my dogs. But hey, they're guard dogs. That's what they're supposed to do.
There's nothing you can do about
that. So, okay, interesting one then. Talk about puppies and genetics. Like breed traits. What do you find that like when you're doing puppy packages for you, that's something that people have considered when they've chosen their puppy, or do you find it's something that people realise once they've got their puppy?
Both, I think, really. I always talk to people about, or try and encourage people to think about the kind of dog that they've got and really have a look at what the genes are in that dog, because that is going to point you in the right direction of quite often the whys of what a dog's doing. especially if there's behaviour problems, you know, you always want to consider actually what was this dog genetically bred to do, and is that something we need to look at, as well as it being an environmental issue. There's a quote, and I can't remember it exactly, but it's something like genetics. Genetics loads the gun and nature fires it off, or something like that. So yeah. But yeah, I think it is important, even with puppies, to kind of look and go, what is this dog going to be like? Is this dog the right fit for us? You know, is it a dog that's going to work well with, you know, kids that are under 5? You know, you have really got to think about all of those things, not just for the family, but for the dog as well. You know, are you the right fit for the dog? You know, at the end of the day, it's a living being. So
absolutely. No, it's interesting, isn't it? Because each dog varies so much, and I was talking to Jenny about it earlier actually, and like every time I've had a new dog, I've thought like, right, I'm going to concentrate on this and this, and I'm not going to make this mistake, and I'm not going to make that mistake. But you kind of learn as you go, don't you? And I found, especially with Prim, like it's a bit of a minefield.
yeah, it is, and yeah, I mean, yeah, it's one of them. It's one of them.
It's getting the foundations right, isn't it?
Definitely getting the foundations right, understanding the dog, and then, you know, you can pick apart anything else from there on and work around it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's interesting. No, I find it quite fascinating when like you break things down, and like the sessions I've had with you, the way that you've sort of made it so simple and broken it down into like simpleton terms for me to understand. Because you were saying how much you tend to find that it's training an owner as well as training a dog.
Yeah, it's
not
definitely
really training the dog in the room, are you? Training the owner to
it's 100% both. Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, it's the owner that's got to put in most of the work with the dog, unless, you know, you've paid for a residential trainer. So that would be someone who has the dog at theirs, or they have kennels or something, and they, I don't know, have your dog for about a month, and then they train your dog, everything, and then they kind of hand the dog back to you. Unless you've done that, yeah, you've got to be the one that puts in the work. So a lot of it is about showing people how to do stuff, how to move with the dog, you know, how to kind of reward them, what they need to do. And I always break that down into steps, because for me that makes it easier for everyone. But training's always, you put building blocks, you know, you lay foundations, and then you start brick by brick by brick, and then you end up with the whole house. You know, and it's lovely. It's so addictive. I mean, you're addicted to training, aren't you?
Yeah, no, I love it. Like there's like, and I always think I start these things and go, oh, I'm gonna teach Prim how to like weave between my legs or whatever, which she can do and she's brilliant at. Yeah, her lead walking. I think I find the things, and I suppose most people do, and you must see this a lot, but the stuff that I enjoy, she enjoys. Like walking on a lead, yeah, it's quite essential. We need to work a bit harder on it, but I find it quite boring. So I'm really bad for that. So we just sort of jolly along. Taking her out for a run, I love running with her. Love going for a run with her, and she's really good fun to go running with. But walking on a lead,
that'll come back to, you know, consistency. Every single lead walk, have you trained and trained and trained until her lead walking's brilliant? But every time you try and train a leg weave, you've probably trained and trained and trained until it's got good, but probably you haven't done that on a lead walk, so you haven't got the loose lead that you want yet. And I agree. I think it's down to motivation. Like, what really do you want your dog to do or not? And there's no right or wrongs. If your dog wears a harness and you don't care about it pulling, you know.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. Her harness is a little bit tight. She chewed her nice one.
That was the nice non-stop one, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah, the nice expensive one. A cheap one, still intact. So funny. So do you find that there's normally so your puppy classes, are they in weeks of 6? Is that right?
So my packages, 5 weeks, so a 5-week package, and then you can have a pre-puppy as well. we'll probably start doing 6-week classes at some point, but you know, at the minute the world's a little bit crazy. So
yeah, no classes for a while.
Not quite worked out how we'll do it. We're kind of playing about with online stuff at the minute and seeing whether live classes can work. I've done a couple with Maggie, my dog, and I quite enjoyed them, and I still learnt from the trainer. So that's a possibility. But yeah, at the minute we do one-to-one stuff in sort of blocks of 5.
And that could be focusing on whatever people want to sort of focus on.
Anything, absolutely anything. That's why I love one-to-one work, because classes are really good in a lot of ways, but there's always a standard thing that you're going to train. You don't really get a choice, and I like one-to-one because you get to train anything that you want. That's what, you know, gets focused on, and you've got that one-to-one support with someone being able to really guide you through it. So yeah, there's pros and cons to both, but yeah, that's what I do at the minute.
Because even with your background with assistance dogs, you could even train a dog to become an assistance dog, couldn't you?
So I'm a super dog instructor, so I am an assistance dog instructor, trainer. Maggie does all the assistance dog tasks, so she takes her food bowl to the sink after she's eaten. You know, I don't have to do anything. It's so cute. I should do a video of that one day.
Yeah, you should definitely.
Opens, closes doors, helps me get undressed so she can take my coat off and undo the zips and take the socks and gloves off and hats and go and put them away, collects her own lead, you know, gets the post, all of that stuff. And I love that because, one, it's really helpful, and actually it absolutely changes people's lives, the people that do need that kind of stuff, for sure. But two, it's all fancy tricks, and yeah. I love trick work, you know, just training tricks is fun. It's so much fun. So yeah.
So when you've taught her to hoover, you can send her out on a cleaning round.
I've kind of half
labour.
I've half joked and not joked about that, and I'm really tempted. But I haven't got a hoover she can hold yet. I've got to find a way of like making it so she could actually push it, and I'll definitely go there.
Could she pull it? Get her like a pull along Henry. Oh no, but then you need the seats. Well, I don't hoover very often. I don't know how they work. Leave that to Joe.
Yeah, there's that, and then there's, you know, cooking, doing my washing up. That'd be helpful. Oh, yeah. So yeah, there's some things.
Maggie's got a lot to learn, bless her. No, it's great. It's good to see, like, how far Maggie's come. When you first brought her in to see me, it's crazy, isn't it? Absolutely crazy.
It was just she had no confidence whatsoever. She was kind of a bit of a shell, really, bless her. And she had massive issues, massive trauma, really. I would actually say it's trauma, and I would say she's actually got PTSD with some stuff. So car traveling,
harness, yeah,
absolute PTSD. And car traveling took a really long time to get her sorted with, so God knows really what had happened to her.
So how old was she when you adopted her?
About, what's she now? She's 3 now, isn't she? She's 4 this year, so she was about 1.5, I think.
See, it's crazy, isn't it? Because a lot of people talk about like the socialization period and stuff, and actually like Prim missed out on that completely. And some of the stuff that she does now, I think she's never really, like, some of that is just how she is. But it's amazing what you've taught Maggie in that time, all with like completely force-free training, all reward-based. It's pretty phenomenal, isn't it?
Yeah, and it can be done. You know, it doesn't have to be forceful or painful or intimidating to a dog. And I'd never train in that way anyway, but it just, anything can be done without force, you know. you can't always train or change everything, you know. I'm never going to be able to make her love being in a car. It's never going to happen. She'll get in a car now and I can drive her to places, and that's probably about as good as it's ever going to be. But, you know, at least I can now get her to places. Whereas before, if I walked towards my car, I just had to go near it, she'd literally wet herself. So, you know, and that's all been done force free. I was never gonna, because of the kind of dog she is as well. You've always got to think about what is my dog's personality like, and how robust are they? Because actually, there are some dogs who you'd just pick up and put in the car and go, okay, come on, get on with it. And they would get on with it because they'd be robust. But Maggie was never going to be that sort of dog. And I had to take it in such slow steps because she's a very sensitive dog. So yeah, that's another thing you've got to take into account, is what kind of dog, how robust is my dog? Could they cope with me just popping them in the boot or not, you know?
That's just like Paddy and Prim. Paddy is like completely robust, will do anything, like, and he was adopted as an older dog, but he's completely chill with life, like doesn't give a damn, like just cruises around, bosses the place, like Billy balls. And then Prim is like so sensitive, although she's boisterous, is crazy sensitive, and it just they're both rescues, like it's just down to their personality, isn't it?
And what you do, you'd train them both in a force-free way, but you do different things with them. You know, because Paddy is just like, yeah, hi, just like, whereas
so, in terms of positive reinforcement, so people perhaps might not understand what reward-based positive reinforcement is, but could you just talk through like the different rewards and like, so whether it's a treat or a toy, or
what we use to train?
Yeah.
Okay, so I use clicker training. Positive reinforcement is a bit of it's not really quite the right term. It's been misconstrued for a long time in the dog training industry. And positive reinforcement actually means something else. But I use clicker training to train dogs. So a clicker is our way of communicating to the dog that the thing that they did when they heard, in the split second that they heard that click, was the thing that we wanted. And then we follow that up with payment, so with reward. And rewards can be anything that your dog is motivated by. So it can be food, it can be toys, it can be fuss, although, you know, food tends to win over fuss, enough. It can be literally anything. It can be going and eating the nice long bit of grass that you wanted. You know, you could use things like that as rewards. You know, it literally can be anything. And then when you're training, for example, with rewards and toys, it's always a good idea to work out what food or what toys your dog goes nuts for, and then what food and toys that they're kind of like, nah, not so bothered about. And then use the really good stuff for your harder exercises, or the exercises where you're asking more from your dog than the easy stuff that they kind of already know, or, you know, where it's easy to train. So yeah, that's kind of it in a nutshell, I think.
No, it's interesting because like mine are all different. To be fair, Cody's got more food motivated now, but he's toy 100%, but then toys send him the other way sometimes. It depends on what toy it is, where he just goes completely over threshold and can't concentrate on anything.
That's it. So but that's the same with food with some dogs. So some food is just so, like, they're just like, mind's blown. But they're just, I've done it with Maggie before. Like, I've gone, oh, well, I've bought her a new toy and gone, oh, I'm going to keep that aside for her, like do a bit of training. And I've taken it out to do training and she has just lost it, you know. She's like, she's got so excited, she can't concentrate on anything. So yeah, you've got to play about with what works for sure. But Prim's foodie, isn't she?
Yeah, very. Like, take your fingers off foodie.
Yeah, I like training with food and toys, and I do different exercises with either or, depending, really.
Yeah, she's not massively toy. Tell you what, she is motivated by is bobble hats with with like the fur bobbles on.
So I use gloves sometimes with Mag. I literally will use gloves as a reward because she loves gloves, random, or socks, anything like that. But I don't know. I'm saying that I wouldn't put that out as a hey guys, go and use socks as a reward if you can't take things off and you don't want them to just take socks. I'll put that as a little caveat there. Whatever motivates your dog, use it to train.
Fab. So, quick question for you, which you're going to hate me for because it's going to put you on the spot. Whilst people are in isolation and on lockdown with their dogs, could you give us a couple of ideas of what they could be doing with their dogs to keep them entertained?
Ooh, what other than training? Loads of training.
But so, is there any games or?
So I really like homemade indoor agility. Really like it. You don't need to buy anything. You don't need any equipment. You just use what is around your house. And I'm telling you now, dogs absolutely love it. Even if, like I did yesterday, I just had like a couple of cushions propped up there, a broom over it, put a little jump for her. And then she had to go under it and she had to go round a couple of chairs and jump on and over stuff. They love it, absolutely love it. So one thing I would do is go around your house, see what you can use, get your dog kind of doing a little bit of, random agility, and they love it. And it'll be quite tiring for them.
I like that. I'll have to try it.
Definitely do. And you could set it up around the yard and stuff, so it doesn't have to be indoors. You can do it in the garden.
They already chase themselves around the garden. We had a great game of chase around the car yesterday. I was like, oh, they need to go.
But if you engage with them, then you're building your relationship with them even more. So quite often I'll go and jump over the stuff and go crawl under the stuff with Maggie, and they love it. Like it's such a relationship builder. I love doing it, and I get some really videos from my clients, especially when they've got kids, where the kids have gone and set up, little homemade agility courses in the garden and stuff, and it's the nicest thing to see. So that would be one of my tips for sure. Obviously you've got loads of enrichment feeders and stuff like that, but people don't want to. Well, I've heard people say, well, Christ, my dog's going to be like 20 stone, by the end of it. And it's not all about food and enrichment feeders, but definitely training is amazing and knackers them out, and you don't really have to do that much training for them to just be absolutely shattered. But if you weren't sure what to train or how to train, you can always get them using their nose, and making a dog use its nose is one of the best things you can do for it, in my personal opinion, in so many ways. You cannot beat proper scent work with a dog. But I would just do really simple stuff, like literally getting a handful of their food and lobbing it in the garden and letting them find it. They'll be so happy doing that. They're natural scavengers. They want to scavenge. So
I did it yesterday actually for Cody and Prim, which I never normally. I put a video out the other day saying I never scatter feed Prim out with the other dogs because she can get a bit protective over her food. And I just thought, oh, do you know what? I'll see what she does. So I scattered some food around and kind of made myself a little barrier just in case she did, and then I could call her away. But because they were both concentrated so hard on finding their own treats, I was like, oh, well, this is revolutionary. Like, there was no growling or anything from her. Cody wouldn't anyway. Cody's too scared to growl at anyone. But she would sometimes get a bit guardy, but she was spot on. And when it was gone, it wasn't like, oh, well, I want to see what you've got now. She just chilled out.
It's amazing. Getting a dog use its nose is amazing, and it can transform certain behavior issues sometimes by just getting them to work and focus on something like that. But if you've got more than one dog and one of those dogs or both of those dogs has an issue with resource guarding, But yeah, just chuck that food about and just let them go and find it, and get them using that nose. So yeah, probably there's a couple of tips. But yeah, training. I'll always say training. I'm biased, aren't I?
She's a dog trainer. I'll
Yeah,
take grooming.
I'm absolutely addicted to training. So that's always going to be my, oh, if you don't know what to do with your dog, train it. You know, that's like my go-to. But yeah, the homemade agility courses are so much fun. Just give it a go. I want to see yours. I want to see you do it, and I want to see a video.
We'll set that a challenge for this video, and people who watch this video, it's to go home. Well, go home. Everyone's at home. Make yourself an agility course and post it underneath in the comments.
Even if it's like resting on a couple of chairs and the dog has to go under and over or whatever, like, yeah, it doesn't have to be anything massive, just anything. Yeah.
Fab. So if people want to find out more about you, where can they go?
Oh, they can go to Facebook, so ProgDog UK, or Instagram, ProgDog UK. I do a bit more kind of just story stuff over on Instagram. Or my website, so progdog.co.uk.
There's a theme.
You're getting a theme here, so progdog UK or cotton.co.uk. Or, you know, get in touch via Facebook or email, so info@progdog.co.uk. There you go. Yeah, that's probably most of the ways to find me.
Fab. And Jo's commitment to her branding, if you notice her lovely wall behind her, decorated to fit in with her branding. You can't fault it. It's beautiful.
Branding colours. Yeah, love it.
I love it. Right, lovely to chat to you, and we shall catch up soon.
Yay, we'll speak soon.
Bye.
Bye.